You are listening to the Star Coach Podcast with Meg Rentschler, episode 17.
Welcome to Star Coaches, the show for professional coaches that brings you coaching strategies, tools, and resources. Whatever your focus or niche, take a front seat weekly as industry leaders, decision makers, and innovators share their wisdom and expertise on the ins and outs of successful coaching. Now join your host, Meg Rentschler, as she connects you with your star coaching potential.
Hello, welcome to the Star Coach Show. I'm your host, Meg Rentschler. It is always an absolute pleasure to have you join us, and I hope that from wherever you're listening in, you're having a great week. If you are listening in from one of the colder climates in the world, I want you to know that I've been thinking about you this week. You've been on my heart, on my mind. I've been thinking about the cold winters that I experienced being born and raised and living in Michigan, and that how by the end of January, sometimes, depending upon the winter, it just felt like, oh, is winter ever going to end? We still have a couple more months to go. So if you happen to be in that place where you're maybe feeling like, oh, when is winter going to end? Hang in there. I've been thinking about you. I feel almost guilty saying so because we've had an incredibly mild winter here in Dallas, Fort Worth. So let's give you something, all of you, whether you're in a warm climate or a cold climate, something to get you fired up, something that can get your creative juices flowing and give you some food for thought in how you might create the business of your dreams. Our guest today is Terri Levine. Terri is the founder of the Heartrepreneur Network and works with companies to create 6- and 7-figure incomes. This is actually our second interview with Terri. In our first interview, she provided 3 foundational steps for creating business success. In this episode, Terri is going to do a deeper dive into how you can gain clarity on who to serve, what to offer them, and how to maximize the impact that you provide to your clients. As I said, Terri helps service businesses make 6 to 7 figures in businesses that are authentic and transparent and heartfelt. Terri is the author of many books, but her most recent book is Turbocharge: How to Transform Your Business as a Heartrepreneur. And it gives even more detail into a plan to create the kind of business that she's talking about. Terri is very engaging, very much fun to spend time with, and was open and very transparent about how to create the success for you. So let's listen to our interview with Dr. Terri Levine. So, good afternoon, Terri. Welcome back to the show. It's great to have you join us again.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
So you spent some time with us a few shows ago sharing some foundational aspects of building any kind of a service delivery business, really. We, of course, focus on coaching on the Star Coach Show, but gave us 3 steps to begin to build that foundation. We talked then about once we've thought about that foundational piece, we want to talk about your business and how to run a business as a heartrepreneur. So perhaps we should start with just talking about what is a heartrepreneur.
That's a great question. So I didn't even have that as a name a couple of years ago. I just knew that I like to run my business very heart-based, very transparent, very authentic with prospects, with my clients, with the people who work with me on my team, with vendors. And it was actually my publisher a couple of years ago. We were in conversation and he knew my business. He knew me for a while. He looked at me and said, "Well, you're just a heartrepreneur." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Heart-based entrepreneur." I just made the word up. And I instantly said, I'm going to brand that. I'm going to trademark it. I'm actually changed the entire name, company, brand, everything about my business because I want to attract other heart-based service businesses, and that just worked for me. So that's what a heartrepreneur is.
But isn't that neat when things just happen like that, when you have those moments of inspiration or that synergy with somebody and something comes up and it's like, oh, thank you, got that message loud and clear, we're going to go with it.
It was synchronistic. And I was writing a book for him at the time that was going to include how to run this kind of a business. And so it just made sense. It just led to the whole evolution of the book. It was perfect.
Wow. And I still see the energy in you from that. That's really lots of fun. So now you help other people figure out how to run their businesses from that authentic, genuine, heartfelt place. And how do you do that?
Well, let me even say it's even to choose your business. What business should you be in, and what niche should you be in, and who's the ideal client? So the way to really get clear on that, I always ask my clients this: if money were absolutely no object, none, and you could just spend your days doing what you love, loving what you do, who would you want to hang out with? What would you want to do? And is there any impact that you want to leave on the planet? And that's what you make your work out of, because your heart's in it. And by the way, it makes it so much easier to attract people to you because they see you and they feel you and they get in touch with your passion and they understand that you're being authentic, that you're transparent, and that you're coming from inspiration. So it's a mistake a lot of people make is they get into a business, even in coaching, they don't do the right niche necessarily. Their heart's not really in it. They can't get clients amazing, incredible results, and therefore their clients don't stick long term. They don't get a lot of referrals. They don't make 6 or 7 figures. So I really work with people to figure out what's in your heart. And then how do we create a business out of what's in your heart? Because if it's in your heart, people will flock to you.
Interesting. Now, sometimes I'll hear from coaches trying to determine their niche. Well, this is what I'm really passionate about, but I don't believe that this target audience can afford coaching, or that I need to be able to make a living by doing this. And while I want to feed into my passion, what if this niche just couldn't support that? What kind of response would you have for something like that?
You brought that up. So my first thing is 99% of making 6, 7, or even 8 figures is here. And most people don't have that, which is why most people never make those dollars, period. They just don't.
And here is in the brain for those of you who can't actually see that she pointed to her head. Yes.
Yeah, it's your mindset. And even if you're walking around saying, well, I'm doing affirmations and I'm practicing the law of attraction, what's really in your belief system? Because I can sit here and say all I want. I'm going to attract clients who are willing to pay me $25,000 every single day. But if underneath I'm like, I don't really know if I'm worth it, I'm not good enough, this niche isn't right, it's not going to work. So that's
really, it's the feeling base that attracts. It's the authenticity, like you said, that goes to the core.
It is. The second thing is that you just go ask that target audience, what's the result you want, and would you be willing to invest in that? So let's say my passion is helping people be happier every single day and just incorporating happiness in their life. And I go ask a certain group of people, let's say it's network marketers, and on hold, they're like, yeah, I really want to be happy. Would you be willing to invest in that result? Well, not necessarily. Okay, I still want to work with that. Maybe not the right audience. And I actually suggest and teach that you never work with a low ticket audience until you're making 6 figures. Once you're making 6 figures, give your time away, go serve people, bring other people in. Don't try to make your living off of people who can't afford you. Go make your living instead of by selling $200, $400, $600 at a time of trading time for money, which is not a good formula. Go sell a high ticket premium price package that's $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Some of my clients even have a $25,000 program. Then you don't need a lot of people. You can get huge results for them, make a real difference. You have plenty of time to devote to other people that you want to help.
So when you start with passion, what are some things that you talked about some of the ways that we could kind of tap into what our passion is, what we would do if money wasn't an object. How often do you have that people come up with maybe 2 or 3 things that they need to vet?
I'm laughing because I just got off teaching one of my classes, and that question came up with several people. So here's what I recommend. First of all, in order to do 6 and 7 figures, you need one focus, one goal. And I see so many people in the coaching industry. I'm doing this kind of coaching and that kind of coaching, and I also do this. And by the way, I do this. Nobody knows who you are. It's very confusing, and you're not going to be successful. So pick the one that you're going to put full focus on. Build that. And then if you want to do something else, you can do that later. So for example, I first started in coaching, 20-something years ago, and I started as a career coach. And I had plenty of clients. I was making great living. I'm like, I don't really like that as much. So I gave that up. I have a great background in sales, so I went into sales coaching. I did that for a while, had lots of clients, and then I said, I really don't want to do that. And then I went back to corporate America, and I did a lot of corporate coaching and consulting, and there was a lot of money in it. It did not feed my soul, so I'm like, that's not my passion. And then I really just sat down and said, with all the clients I've ever worked with all the things I've ever done, what's in my heart? And my answer was this. If there's just one message I could get out to the world for the rest of my life, it's, let me show you how to make 6 and 7 figures in a service business. I know how to do it. I can do it in my sleep. Oh my gosh, I see people not doing it. And I had this need to do it. I took that and said, one focus, one goal. So somebody calls me and says, help me with time management, help me with this. And it is my passion. It's in my heart.
Another really important message through that, though, is that it might be that you think this niche is your niche and you work it for a while and then you realize that this isn't where I want to go. And it's because sometimes I see coaches absolutely paralyzed by making the wrong decision. So they don't make any decision. They're just stuck. And so my response to that is, so you build a website or you do whatever it is that you're doing and you choose that and you go and you decide, you know what, maybe I do want to tweak this or change it. It's okay. Terri Levine went through 4 different niches before she got to being a heartrepreneur. I mean, it's okay, because during all of that you were learning about yourself. You were doing coaching, which builds the coaching skills. You were active. You were doing versus just being paralyzed by just thinking about it.
Yeah, so that's a great point. You can rebrand, you can reinvent, and if you don't, you're not really in business, because every company does that. Look at McDonald's. I've seen McDonald's, I've been around the planet for a while. I've seen McDonald's change their branding, change their image, change what they look like, even what they serve. Well, we didn't used to have Happy Meals. There weren't playgrounds.
There weren't salads, yeah.
There weren't salads,
yeah.
Right? We change, we evolve. And sometimes you choose the market, sometimes the market chooses you. So I did not expect that I would be working with coaches and consultants. I knew I wanted to help service businesses. I hadn't really isolated who. The market was choosing me. People were raising their hands going, well, can you help me? Can you help? And I'm like, coach, consultant, coach. The market chose me. And if you pay attention, the market might be choosing you and you might not be listening. So listen with your heart, listen with your ears, listen with your senses, because the market might be right in front of you and you might be looking for some other market.
That's a really great piece of wisdom to increase the awareness of what's going on and what kind of responses you're getting. And are you, through being just determined that I'm going to do this because I believe that's where the money is, let's say, actually perhaps missing the market that wants you, that connects with you?
Exactly. And that's really, really important. It's just pay attention. I can't tell you how many times I talk to somebody, one of my clients, and they're looking for X market and they think that's their niche. This happened today. So somebody's been interviewing. I have my clients do interviews. They've been interviewing people and they're like, none of these people really want what I have. And I said, it's the wrong niche. I said, well, who does want what you have? And they said, well, a lot of people ask me. I said, what do you mean a lot of people ask you? They're like, well, people I used to work with, the people you used to work with that are asking you, they're your audience. They're actually raising their hand and saying, will you help me? And you're not looking at them. And they were like, oh, and I said, that's all you want to do is you want to spin your head around, go back to them and say, Here's the result that I offer. Are you interested? And right after we worked on this, literally like 2.5 hours later, she texted me and she said, 4 people said yes to my high ticket program. And before she said nobody would be interested, right? Boom, turn your head, look at the right people. They're standing there.
Oh, that's a great story. That's awesome. We want to get clear about our niche and the niche that we're passionate about, and that maybe is saying, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. So after that, what's the next sort of message you give about being a heartrepreneur?
So the next message is to really look at every single aspect of yourself and your business and make sure there's transparency, integrity, authenticity, and that you can deliver results. And a lot of coaches, some consultants, but many, many coaches, they don't really deliver a result. They work with clients and then the client didn't get a result and the coach says something like, they didn't put the effort in, they didn't do the homework, they didn't show up. My belief is that if you're really putting your heart into it and you're really selling results, which is what coaching is based on, then you have to know how to deliver a result. And it's not the client's responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you accept the right clients. That's why high ticket is better, who are really committed to getting the result, and that you're committed to partnering with them to get the result. You're on this journey together. And then if they're not getting the result, you do something about it. You figure it out. So, certainly I've had over 5,000 clients, been at this a long time. I've had some clients that weren't getting results. And I said, hey, we either do this or we need to do that. And if they weren't willing, I refunded their money. It's just, hey, I'm not giving you the result. I wasn't the right person. I shouldn't have said yes to you. So I want the coaches to I want you to take a look at yourself and your coaching process. If you deliver results, you deserve to be highly compensated. You're not paid for time. You're paid for the value you bring.
How do you help people get clear about their process, about what sort of goes into that high ticket program?
That's a very good question. So first we look at what's the end result you can deliver. So let's just say I have a system that can deliver tons and tons of leads to you automatically. Let's just say that was what I do as a coach. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. What do you need to do that? What guarantees that you'll get somebody the result? So you have to go backwards and not just come up with things, well, I'm going to coach them and I'm going to do a webinar and I'm going to give them templates. No, that's all fluff. What do you absolutely have to give them to get the result? What do you have to teach them? What do you have to coach them? Are there templates? Are there checklists? So just for me, for example, working with my clients, I work with them 6 weeks at a time and take them to a certain goal, which is how to set up their high ticket program and command a lot of clients quickly. So I noticed the first time that I ran it, that everyone was asking me, well, what are your sample emails that you send out, Terri, to people who watch your webinar? Like, what are they? And I was like, oh, they must need that to get a better result. So in the second time I ran the program, I put that in there. I went back to all the first people and I gave that. The second time I ran the program, I added a couple of other components. And then I said, what else do you guys need? And they told me something else. I added that. So if you're really going to be a master at what you do, and that's what you do if you're heart-based, you master what you do, you improve it every day, every week, every month. I constantly am investing in coaches, mentors, consultants. I have 8 of them right now. I do. I work on myself every day, and I work on improving my business every day in terms of what else can I deliver? How else can I help my clients? How can I make sure they get the result? So putting your program, whatever, will drive your clients towards the results, not about trading time for dollars.
A message that you gave that needs to be heard is you can start with what you believe is a really good program, but be willing to tweak it and add and listen to your audience. And every time you're going to be upping your game in some way.
Every single time, yes. And it really is about that. You evolve every day. Every time you work with a client, you learn something else. Put that in your program. So a program shouldn't be, it's fixed, it's this. It should be, this is what it is. And let me see if all my clients get the result, and let me get feedback from them. What else would you like? What else do you need? And then put that in your program. You know, if it's something that's unrealistic, obviously no, but 99% of the time, I find clients will tell you exactly what goes in the program. My clients even named my program. I didn't have a name. And I said, you know, what do you guys think the name should be? And they played with it, and they all went back and forth. And finally they said, Terri, this is the name. And I'm like, that's a great name. So I used the name that my clients named it.
And what did your clients name your program?
It's the ultimate high ticket program for attracting high paying clients that love you.
Wow. That's sort of the people who are doing it said, this is what you do, and this is what you should name it.
Yeah, I said, what, you know, I want to name it what the result is. So you guys think about the result and tell me. And they had a few iterations of it. And finally they said, this is it. And I'm like, I love that, you know, and I didn't think of it. I didn't come up with it. And I think it's better because it's their language and they're my ideal clients. So we want to attract more heart-based people just like them.
Another key message that your audience, they will be attracted to their language. So having your audience create a message that speaks to them just makes so much sense. Another wise thing.
Use their words. I think, you know, a lot of times we say, we're going to deliver this result. We talked about that last time. It's got to be the result they really want. In addition to that, we don't know the words. You know, I wouldn't have come up with high-paying clients that love you. I might have come up with high-paying clients, but not that love you, right? And it's so much cooler that they added that, because really I teach how to get the best clients who are going to love and adore you and that you're going to love working with. So it's like, I took their language and magically now so many more people are attracted because it resonates. I wouldn't have come up with it. Your audience is who you want to get the information from.
What next?
I'll kind of back up. When I wrote Turbocharge, How to Transform Your Business as a Heartrepreneur, I decided to put in the book the what next process, which is how to literally be seen as the go-to person in your niche, even if you're brand new. Even if you have no experience and you're brand new. I mean, I was really new, as we talked about the other day, when the media named me the guru of coaching. And it was like, what? It's all just because of the way I positioned myself. Mentally, emotionally, physically, walking and talking the part. So I'll share this. When I first started in coaching, a good friend of mine started at the same exact time. And after 5 years of struggling and not doing anywhere, like 25 grand a year and just not able to make it, she finally left the profession, which I have to tell you is very sad because she was an extraordinary coach.
So it was a loss to the profession.
Total loss. And she could have really served clients like major. Here's the difference. If you asked her in the first month or the first day, let's take, because I had 30 clients, let's take day one. All right, I had one client, she had one. We're the same. We're charging the same price, day one. If you said to her, how's it going? She would have said, oh, it's kind of a struggle. You know, it's hard to find clients. And I would have said, it's amazing. I'm doing what I love. I'm loving what I do. Every day is just magnificent and magical. So people positioned me, I didn't, as Terri must be like really successful. Okay. I had one client, she had one client. Now in 30 days, I had 30. Why weren't they going to her? Why were they coming to me? Would you really want a coach who's walking around like that? So there's a whole section. I happen to have this. You have to position yourself and elevate yourself. And I got to tell you, a lot of this is an inside job. A lot of this, back to the head, a lot of it is in there. There is a chapter in the book that says, shut the F up. Won't say that word, right? You know, my publisher, when I was writing it, went, what? I said, you know what? I tried every other word. And the truth is, you have to tell that to your brain, because your brain is going to run you if you don't run your brain. So that's the piece.
Excellent. And Turbocharge, tell us a little bit more about the book and what's in the book and how it can help turbocharge us.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. So what was very interesting is I decided to write a book dissecting what I've done in my business and all my clients' businesses, literally step by step by step, to become number one in the niche, to become known, to become a celebrity without me doing any of that, and to be able to get clients nonstop, just literally coming and registering and automating my business so that I don't take time selfishly away from my clients on marketing and content creation. I literally spend my time with my clients, and I have a great life and devote time to my foundation, my charity. I sit on 4 other boards of foundations. I'm active in my community. I've got free time with my husband and my family. I wanted a juicy life too. So I took it all and I dissected it. And then I put in Turbocharge, which didn't have a name at the time. I put in the entire process, every single thing. And the book didn't have a name as I was working on it. And in a conversation again with my phenomenal publisher, he said, I'm reading these chapters as they're being edited, and I'm beginning to think to myself that what you're really putting together is a way that people can turbocharge their business. I was like, I think we have the name of the book.
I think you need to hold on to that man.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing a lot more books with him. He's awesome. So that's what it's about. How do you turbocharge your business without spending a lot of money, time, energy, and really get all the mistakes that I've made over the years and just follow the formula? It works.
You've said a couple times in both interviews, you don't have to give up a quality life to build a business or to be 110% there for your clients and 110% in your life. You don't have to trade. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
My first book is going to relate to all this. My very first book is called Work Yourself Happy.
Great title.
Thank you. I really believe in this, right? If your work is not an extension of who you are, that brings you joy and delight, there's no reason to do it. And I don't believe whoever created us plunked us on the planet and said, Meg, go forth, work.
Be miserable and work.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe that we got plunked here and it's like, man, there's a juicy life. Wait till you see all the cool stuff and the cool people. Go have fun. So I want to have fun in my life. I want to contribute. I want to be with great people. I want to do great things. I want to feel healthy. I want to sleep well. I want to eat well. I want to do all the cool stuff that I can. I want to vacation, every single thing. And I still want to have an amazing business. And I can do both of them with the way I systematize it, working about 10 hours a week. Some of my clients are down to 4 hours a week. It's up to you. You can actually do that. It's up to you.
Excellent. And for those of you who are saying, oh, that book sounds awesome, I want to turbocharge my career and my life, Terri has given a book to the show for the show book giveaway. So I'm excited to say that keep your ears open and be sure to sign up for the book giveaway because that will be in the near future in the giveaway. So thank you for that. Thank you for your generosity in that.
Very welcome.
Well, Terri, once again, you brought it all, put it all on the table for us. Let us get a glimpse into the success that you've created and that is in reach of everyone who wants to reach out and grab it and be the coach that their clients want them to be and live the life that they want to live. So thank you again for joining us.
You are so welcome. Thanks for having me. It's been a true honor to be here.
Once again, Terri hit it out of the park, giving us so much good information to apply and think about as we build our service businesses. So thank you again to Terri Levine for joining us. If you'd like to know more about Terri or Heartrepreneur Network or about the Star Coach Show, visit us at starcoachshow.com. Check out the resources. Remember that Terri has given us a turbocharge, how to transform your business as a Heartrepreneur, as one of the books in our giveaway. Well, you can't win a book in our giveaway if you don't sign up for the book giveaway. So be sure to visit starcoachshow.com and follow the directions on the contact page to get into the book giveaway. We've got great books, and I want you all to have the opportunity to win them. If you're enjoying the show, I would so appreciate it if you would take a second and rate and review us on iTunes. That will help our visibility, get us out to more coaches so that they can also experience the incredible wisdom from the guests that join us on the show. I hope that you have a fabulous week, that you stay warm and safe wherever you may be. And until next week, this is Meg Rentschler wishing you the very best for your coaching success.